HarperCollins presents Christmas at Rachel's Pudding Pantry by Caroline Roberts, read by Charlie Sanderson. Winter is the time for comfort, for good food and warmth, for the touch of a friendly hand, and for a talk beside the fire. It is the time for home. Edith Sitwell. The first bake of Christmas. Memories and mince pies, Dad's all-time festive favourite. As a child, Rachel could walk into the farmhouse kitchen at almost any point during November and December, and if Dad was there on a break from his farm work, he was sure to have a mug of strong tea and a mince pie to hand. Rachel smiled as she read Granny Ruth's neat handwriting on the page that had long ago been slipped into the baking Bible book. Buttery mince pies. 8 ounces, or 225 grams of butter, 12 ounces, or 350 grams of plain flour, 3.5 ounces, or 100 grams of golden castor sugar, a pinch of salt, 10 ounces, or 280 grams good quality mincemeat, splash of sherry, 1 small egg, icing sugar to dust. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees C. Gas, or fan, 180 degrees C. To make the pastry, rub 8 ounces of cold diced butter into 12 ounces of plain flour. Then mix in 3½ ounces of golden castor sugar and a pinch of salt. Combine the pastry into 2 balls, warming and moulding with your hands. Don't add any liquid, and knead them briefly. The dough will be fairly firm, like shortbread dough. Roll out and cut 12 rounds with an 8.5 centimetre or 3½ inch cutter, and 12 rounds with a 6.5 centimetre or 2½ inch cutter. Using a 16-hole non-stick tartlet tin, use the larger rounds to line each hole. Spoon a heaped teaspoon of the mincemeat, mixed with a splash of sherry, into the pies. Top the pies with their lids, pressing the edges gently together to seal. Beat 1 small egg and brush over the tops of the pies. Bake for 20 minutes until golden. Leave to cool in the tin for 5 minutes, then remove to a wire rack. Dust with icing sugar before serving. These will keep for 3 to 4 days in an airtight container. These little pies herald the start of Christmas in our household. Granny had written below the recipe. Robert loves to lift up the pastry lid and add a blob of thick cream on top of the warm mincemeat. It melts in, so you have to eat it quickly. Delicious. I've seen him eat 5 in one go. It's a good job he's a growing lad. Oh, yes. Granny's mince pies were the best. That crumbly, buttery first bite, and then the lingering taste of festive spiced mincemeat. It made you feel like Christmas was on its way. Chapter 1. Rachel was teetering up a ladder with a strand of fairy lights in her hand. Just a touch more to the left, love. That'll even up the loops. Jill, her mother, was poised at the base of the ladder, keeping it steady and giving directions. Okay, careful now. I'm all right. Rachel leaned from her perch to give them a tweak. She was used to doing far riskier things out on the farm. Not that she would have enlightened her mum about that. Rachel was fixing the twinkly white lights to the guttering of the old barn, ready to give the Pudding Pantry, their new business venture, a festive facelift and a touch of winter magic. From her vantage point, Rachel could see down across the yard and into the farmhouse kitchen window, glimpsing the large pine table and chairs that had been there for as long as she could remember. Memories of Christmases past suddenly came flooding back. Sitting there on her father's knee, aged about 6, the scrumptious turkey dinner now eaten, festive crackers snapped, corny jokes read out, and Robert, still wearing his bright
Sample complete. Ready to continue?